I want you to think about people in your life that you've seen, maybe it's even yourself, that you've watched just be stagnant for years, right? Like stagnant in the sense that they've just been doing the same thing, like working the same job. They've been interacting with the same people. They've been living in the same place, like all these things for years on end. People will, those three things, like where you work, who you interact with, and where you live, probably the three biggest hitters of like your identity. Really, at the core, it's your identity. And there are many, many, many people that will have the same three things of those three things for decades on end. Which, you know, of course there's the loyalty and commitment argument and like sticking with something, seeing it through. But it's really hard to continue to grow as a person and evolve as a person when you're not given any new stimuli in your life or things that force you to learn and ask new questions, because if everything around you is something you're used to, just eat, sleep, repeat. I don't think that's how we're supposed to live. I'll get a bite of this quick. I figured out it's good to have something to eat or drink while I'm yapping like this, because it's like if I need a moment to think, instead of standing here and be like, I'll just be like, I'm grabbing a piece of food. I need a second. And y'all gonna wait. No, but so yeah, man. I think about it for yourself though. Like, what have you changed recently? I would say that something should change on a yearly basis, maybe. Like something relatively sizable. There's a huge scale of what can happen, right? But you can move places, get a new job, you can get in a relationship, get out of a relationship. You can, there's a lot of, let's give some smaller examples that are probably more practical and applicable for you guys watching, you know. That's gonna be like hobbies and interests, okay? Pick up a new hobby or start a new interest. You probably even have something that like has been in the back of your mind for a long time that you think it'd be really cool to do. You don't really know why you haven't done it. Bro, I don't know why you haven't done it either. Because time is ticking and the perfect time was yesterday. So think of that thing. And the other thing is leaving old stuff in the past, right? So, for example, when I was a kid, when I was 10 or 12, I was obsessed with hunting and fishing. That was like what I was about, bro. I bought a truck because I just thought I should do that just to be a hick, you know, when I was 16. So actually it was like 10 to 16, I would say, that I was in that phase. That was like my core hobby. I dreamt about the deer I would kill or the fish I would catch and stuff. I was weirdly obsessed with it. And these days, dude, I'll fish like a couple times a year. I didn't hunt at all last year, which is kind of sad because there's still a part of me that does really enjoy that, and it's like nostalgic at this point. But you know, I think that we have seasons, and we will learn things from each season of our life, but that's not meant to be this like continued thing or something you try to hold on to and keep. You need to allow yourself to change and grow, and know that you're carrying over value from those things. Whether it's old hobbies, whether it's old relationships. Like a lot of times people have a hard time letting go of old friendships that were really special friendships, but life is pulling them apart and they don't want to let that happen. They try to hold on to it, and then it kind of ruins the friendship in a way if you try to hold on to it too hard, too tightly. But yeah, there's just a lot of benefits of having a wide spread of side quests in your life, okay? Because I'm not going to rattle a bunch of stuff off, but I think you could probably think for yourself as well, like different hobbies, interests you've had, and what you've learned in each of them. It's like helped round you out as a person. That you wouldn't have this characteristic if you had never done that thing. And unfortunately, I think people like to identify themselves in a group because that's like, it's human nature to like want to be a part of a group. So people will say, or mentally just think that I'm a sports person, like sports is my thing. That's what they do. Or I'm an art person. I'm the band kid, you know, or I'm a gamer, you know. Yeah, and they stay inside those boxes. No one's forcing them inside those boxes except themselves. But when you can step outside of that and dip your toes in different arenas, not only do you become a fuller personality and more capable and competent for a variety of skills, you also can relate to a lot more people. That's the thing, because let's go with my hunting fishing example. Even though I barely do that anymore, if I meet someone that's like super into hunting or super into fishing, I know how to talk them up about it, because like I know the terms. I know, for instance, like what the rut is. If y'all don't hunt, you probably don't know what the rut is, but it's like the mating season for deer or for other animals as well, like elk, moose, stuff like that. So it's like the best time to hunt because the animals are thinking with their other head, just going wild, running around the woods. You can, they're a lot more responsive to like calls, or dude, you can like drip. This is crazy looking back, thinking about it. You can drip doe urine, like the female deer's urine, out. You can buy it in containers that is like in heat urine. It's urine from a doe that was in heat. Because this is how they signal to each other. Like what a buck will do is he'll rub his antlers on a tree and make a scrape. It's called, or sorry, no, that's a rub. A scrape is, they'll scrape the ground too. So they'll make these markings, and the does will come, and if the doe's in heat, they'll pee on these markings. And then the bucks like will periodically check these markings, and you know, they get a whiff of that and they're like, oh, you know. They can smell it from a far ways away too. So that's probably more than you wanted to know about all that. But that demonstrates like I have weird knowledge in those areas because of just being super into it at one point. And I can relate to a whole nother group of people on a deeper level than if I knew nothing about hunting or fishing and I was just like, oh, so like, I don't know, asking dumb questions that like they probably hear from most people who would talk to them about their hobby. But for them to be able to share deeply about it, and I think if you know about it, they're gonna assume like, oh, they have some interest that they would actually want to hear about it. And people love to talk about the things that they love to do. So it's a good in with a lot of people. Not gonna lie, 7 out of 10. You need to prove to yourself that you're the agent of change in your life, because a lot of people are out here just waiting for their life to change before they are willing to shift their identity and say that they're this new person. They're waiting for the change to happen first. It's backwards way of thinking. Like, you need to decide, this is who I'm gonna be from here on out, and then you will change and adjust your life according to that because of that shift. I hope that makes sense. So for me moving out, I was gonna say, when I was living at my parents' old house, and in the old bedroom there, it's this bedroom that, you know, I formed when I was like 12, right? So there's just old stuff on the wall, things I held on to that like I did not need or want. I threw a lot of stuff out. And just being surrounded by the same desk, the same bed, the same dresser, the same everything that I was surrounded by when I was a kid was really hard. Like, I felt myself growing out of the space, but I felt like it was holding me back and keeping me in like the mindset and headspace of a younger me. It wasn't allowing me to move on mentally to some degree. It, at the least, was very much not encouraging growth for me. And a lot of that is subconscious, I think. But, so, yeah. I guess this is just my example of what it's been for me recently in life, because I recognize that I am the agent of change in my life. I'm the one that has to make things happen. And if I were just to like wait around for things to change, I'd probably still be living at my parents' in a couple years and being like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about moving out, I just don't know what place, blah 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 blah. You know the people that talk like that, bro. Because I did not need to move out. It actually didn't really make sense to. I still have a year of school. My school is 15 minutes closer to my parents' house than it is to here. And you know, now I'm paying monthly rent when I didn't have to. Like, my parents would have been fine with me staying there. My mom would have cooked me some meals and stuff, so I wouldn't be eating freaking lamb sog on a Sunday morning. But I knew that I had to do that for my own growth and self-improvement and being able to focus on some things that I really want to focus on this summer and beyond. So my goal with these videos, guys, is that you actually glean something from them that will affect your life, that you can apply to your life. So I guess I'm just trying to drive home the importance of recognizing you need to constantly reinvent yourself for you to become a better person for yourself and for the people around you. There's a million different ways that could look like in you. You know, I think you could probably come up with ways really fast if you sat down and thought about it for a second. I've listed off a lot of examples, but like, what's a hobby or interest that you've been wanting to do for a while? What's one that has gotten stale for you? Okay. Who's that girl or that guy that you're into but you haven't pursued? Is your girlfriend or boyfriend who you really want to be with and who's going to continue to push you to be your best? These are hard questions to ask. Is where you're currently living fostering a conscious and subconscious environment for you to be your best? Is the work that you're doing or the schooling that you're doing actually pointing your trajectory where you want it to be? And are you actually happy with the process of where you're at? Or are you settling for something that seems okay and right to the people around you? Those are big ones. I'm telling you though, bro, these can be really little things too. Like, you get some new clothes. That's a good example. Like, you try something new on, a little different style. Just switch it up. See yourself in a different light. Change your diet. Start working out or something. I'll tell you, the gym is what gave me this mindset. Like, everything I've shared in this video is because of the gym. Because I saw myself go from 150, 160 pound, scrawny, weak kid with low self-esteem, low self-confidence. And even over just a couple months, I started to see myself. I'm like, yo, is that a bicep vein? And then years later, now it's like been 4 or 5 years, and I'm 190 pounds. I'm competing in powerlifting. I feel so much more secure in not only my body, but like who I am, because I've probably done 1,000 plus workouts since 2020. And all those workouts are times that I went and proved to myself that I can show up. There are times that I proved to myself I can put the work in whether I feel like it or not, whether I'm hyped up or I'm feeling crappy. And all those workouts in summation have proved to me that I can change my life. Some people have never had something like that in their life where they've demonstrated to themselves that they have that much control over their life. So they live and are just tossed by the wind of whatever comes to them. It's a sad reality to be living in, for sure. But I think it's a bit of a practice skill to change your life in big ways like that. You know, the more you do it, the more confidence and more flexibility you have to be able to do it again and do it in different ways. So, all to say, I know I'm ranting a bit. I just want you to push yourself for where you're at right now. I think of one more thing. In all those examples that I mentioned, I think they were very doing things oriented, but there's many ways to reinvent yourself just up here as well. And arguably that's harder. You know, so let's go with religious beliefs. I grew up a Christian, like a Protestant Christian, and I would say that 85% of my friends are still Protestant Christians, still doing the whole church thing, whether they, you know, on a spectrum of devoutness to it. 10% are now like agnostic, don't really know what they believe, kind of might claim Christianity, but like aren't going to church or living it at all. And 5%, honestly, it's less than 5%. I can't think of anyone I think that has completely shifted their spiritual identity to like another religion or something. I know people have done that coming to Christianity, but you know what? I do know one person that went from Christianity to Islam. And the thing is, like, I have the most respect for those people because in pursuit of what they find to be true in their lives, they're willing to sacrifice an entire pillar of, you know, their life up until that point. So much of their community, so much of how they live their life and their beliefs and morals are built on that underlying religious belief system. So to cut that out or change it out, swap it out with something is so disrupting to your life. That's probably actually more disrupting than anything that I mentioned. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up as another way that you can do this. And I think that has smaller levels as well, like reading a book, you know, like right here. This is, by the way, one of my favorite books, Creative Act, Rick Rubin. If you're into anything creative, literally anything, any kind of art, it's a fantastic book. It just talks about like the creative process and stuff. It's very concise, well worded. But yeah, dude, like me reading that book has shifted the way that I look at myself when I'm making art or in the process of it. It's given me a new lens. And too many people are just comfortable with how they see the world and not willing to change that. Like they have this mentality that they know what they need to know already, or that they're right. Like, dude, there's so little that I would have any confidence in that I'm 100% right about this. I'll never change on this. Like, you just gotta hold things loosely, bro. Because everybody, most people have that kind of confidence in totally different things. So who's to say that you're like a more intelligent human being than they are? All right. Okay, I gotta wrap this up for real now. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry that this was a little bit disorganized and I don't know, definitely off the cuff. I want to get better at making these videos, and I think that will happen just by doing reps and just putting the camera on, talking to it. The good news is I think these are going to be the worst videos because I'm still figuring it out a bit and learning how to articulate myself well, bro. It's different when it's like just you in a room talking to a camera, because normally in conversation you get those little breaks. Like you say a little something, they're saying something, and you should be listening to them, but you're also thinking about like things that you could say next. So you get those like rests in between. But here, it's like if I need to stop and think about something, I can't do that. I gotta keep going. For the most part, like I could take a little pause, but I don't get that 30 seconds when someone else is talking, and I don't get, you know, new inspiration from whatever they're saying. So it's harder, but it's good practice. Yeah, y'all, I'm out, headed to church, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. Oh,